Hello and welcome you all to the webinar series presented by UniApply Reimagine. In this Reimagine webinar series, we call eminent leaders from the school and the principal, and they have the dynamic experience. So thank you all the attendees and panelists to join today's webinar. My name is Ritesh Chawla and I represent uniapply.com. For all the viewers who have joined us today, UniApply is a school admission platform which is transforming and digitizing the school application and admission process, right? And UniApply is a product of no paper form. So the today's topic for discussion is on the minds of every parent and child who is looking for their education, and parents are specifically looking for their child's education in several schools in Delhi NCR. So typically the application process is underway for all the schools and students, and they have to submit the final class 12th result. Schools has to finally submit the class 12th result once it is done and released by the CBSE and ICSE and other state boards in India. The whole process, right from admission to complete their education, there's every system is in the process with the school, and schools are putting best of their efforts after these 23 or months of the lockdown. Schools are reopened now, and schools were reopened, but for a very smaller window. There were one or the other reason for the closure. Sometime it was a government did it for the cause of curbing the pollution. Many times it was second or third wave, right? So there were phases when schools were shut down. Now this is the time when everything is going back to normal, and today basis on that we are going to discuss that back to school, and we are going to decode the admission process for the schools in Faridabad. So I have with me the well-known panelists who are the leaders of the school, reputed school in Faridabad as well as India, and principals are today participating from their school and representing their school. So without taking much of time, I would like to introduce the leaders for today who are. Yes, so I have Miss Vandana Bhatia. Ma'am is principal with Holy Child Public School, Sector 75, Faridabad. So welcome, Vandana ma'am.
Thank you so much, and a very good afternoon to everybody. And thank you, UniApply, and hoping to have an interesting session.
Right. So now I would like to invite my second panelist, Miss Neetu Blessed. So ma'am is principal with the Modern School, Faridabad, Sector 85. So welcome, Neetu ma'am.
So thank you, Ritesh. Thank you so much. There was some issue. And good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you so much.
Right. Good afternoon, ma'am. So now I would introduce my another panelist. So Dr. Madhuri Parthi, we are expecting her to join shortly. And now I would like to introduce my another panelist, Ms. Subrata Singh. So ma'am is the principal with the Suraj Kund International School, B Block, Faridabad. Welcome, Subrata ma'am.
Very good afternoon, all of you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. So as all the leaders are aware that today we are going to discuss the very important topic, because the existing audience which who are already studying into your school, and the parents who are sending their wards to your school. So now back to school is of course a very important topic, where the existing set of parents should feel confident to send their kids to schools regularly. And of course for the prospective parents who are planning for the admission of their wards, it is also important for them to understand that how the system is going to be after this huge on and off of the school, right? Because schools were suffering a lot, buildings were shut down, classes were online. So we are going to discuss all of these facts today, and we want our parent and the audience to be confident enough once they take the decision of the admission, and they decide to send their kids to the school. So we will solve this problem, and we'll ask the question to our panelists. And without taking much of time, I would like to ask first question to Vandana ma'am. So Vandana ma'am, as you know that now schools are reopened, schools are functional, and now school has to put a lot of effort when it comes to physical schooling, because they were closed for a very long period of time, let's say almost 2 years, right? And once the system is not functional physically, so there are a lot of challenges, right? So since you are back to the physical mode of school, so what do you think, what are the challenges on how school and you as an educational leader are addressing those issues, ma'am?
Thank you so much. And it is very much pertinent to talk about the challenges, because 2 years is not a small period, Ritesh, I must tell you.
Right.
And we are going to receive children who have never been to school, and especially in class 1. Those
Right.
children will be coming for the first time to school. So that's the biggest challenge. Of course, infrastructural, physical challenges are there. How to keep but more than those physical and infrastructural challenges, main is the social and emotional need of the children. And
Right.
it will be a challenge not only for educator and school, for the parents as well. They have
Right.
got a different routine. There are certain children who feel, I mean, especially the young ones, they feel that school is something which is online. It is an office for them, the way they have seen their parents working from home. So this is number one. And number two, their emotional needs as well, how to prepare them. Their social needs also. They don't know how to live together in a community. So that is also going to be one of the challenges. And of course, I think time is the biggest, you can say, healer, or time is most powerful. And for that, we have the preparation for the bridge classes. And so it's not that today children are coming in and we are pouncing with the syllabus. So we'll be preparing our children slowly and steadily. Even the times will change, and we'll first of all make them how to work, how to study, what are the norms of a school. So we have to start from scratch.
So, ma'am, I have an extended question to this, because since now you are fully functional, or let's say the physical classes are on, but of course there'll be a hybrid mode, like most of the schools are following so far, whereas few students are still not coming and parents are not confident to send. So how you are managing the situation of a physical academic delivery as well as the hybrid mode of education?
See, in these 23 months, there has been time when schools were on and off. And all those times we catered to the needs of the children in a hybrid mode. But from the coming session, as per the government regulations also, so we are going totally offline. We will not be continuing with the hybrid mode from the new session, that is in April. And as of now, we are having examination, but senior children are having totally offline, and junior are taking online.
Right.
What is going for the classes in the coming session? It's going to be purely offline, because more than school, more than children, parents are eager to send these children.
Right, right. Of course, it's a very long time, and change is required, right? So we really hope and wish that everything is back to normal very soon, and we don't see any other wave, so that we can be back on track in all possible ways. When we talk about businesses, when we talk about education, everything, right? So thank you, Anna ma'am, for giving your perspective to this question. So now I would like to ask my second question to Neetu ma'am. So ma'am, reopening the school means many new start, let's say, starting from ensuring that everything is in working tandem in schools, right from buses to routines of the teachers, of the student, to the classroom, to the teachers, to the washroom and the garden areas and the play sections. So there are a lot of things which are involved in the entire school ecosystem, right? School is not just about a classroom academic delivery. It is about right from the student enters into school till the time the dispersal happen, right? The parents safely take back their kids, or kids reaches out reach back to their home. So Neetu ma'am, there is a lot of processes are involved. Since now the COVID is going down, the wave is settling down, and the numbers are going low. So Neetu ma'am, how schools are ensuring that everything is in a working tandem, and there's a conducive and safe environment for the kids?
Okay. Thank you, Ritesh. Now, first of all, I would like to say that, post-COVID, though I don't know whether I should be saying it or not, because post-COVID, we are still in that period. So we are not able to say that it's post-COVID, but yes, parents have become extremely careful about the safety. They
Right.
were earlier as well, but now all the more because of all the COVID protocols which need to be taken up by the school for their safety. So when you're talking about, preparing the school for garden areas or the transport or ABC areas of the school, of course, it is going to be a big challenge, though we have started calling the students to school. But yes, we are not able to hold assemblies as of now. We are
Right.
not able to take the entire bunch of children to the playground, and we have to do everything in small batches,
Right.
so which means definitely a more dedicated team of staff and a conscious team of staff who understands that, this is the need of the hour. Because as of now, if we talk what Vandana ma'am was saying, I completely agree that children have come after 2 years.
Right.
And children, I would say, at our place, if we talk about the pre-primary or the primary students, they
Mhm.
are sort of, still getting used to, though it's been a week that the children have started coming into our school, but
Right.
then they are still lost. As
Right.
in, they're very happy. They are super happy to be back at school, but still they do not know how to get into the routine. So we have
Right.
started with short hours at school
Mhm.
right now, and slowly we will be bringing them to the normal working hours, which are there for 6 hours. But
Right.
yes, we have started taking the children out in small number,
Mhm.
for which means, the earlier the sports teachers or the dance teachers who were taking one class a day, they have been given more classes because they are now taking more number of batches.
Right.
And as far as the other safety measures are concerned, Ritesh, I think we all will have to understand that this is going to stay on, and we
Right.
have to learn to live with this.
Right.
And so much so that I have been seeing that when the children are coming to school, they are careful enough, the small ones even are careful enough not to take off the masks, since they
Right.
have been trained by the parents that, you would be not taking off the masks except the snack which they are going to be having, or the water time which they are doing, and the children are conscious towards that.
Right.
So which helps the school also, in a way, to, gather everyone together and take ahead in a very positive manner. And yes, constant reinforcement from the parents is also very important, to make them understand that schools are probably the safest places. Because
Right.
if I say so, then all principals over here would agree that we are all extremely
Yes.
careful when we are dealing with children. So be
Yes.
it a nursery child or a grade 12 child, children are children for us. So
Right.
we all have been extremely careful, and we have had sleepless nights when the schools were reopening, that how are we going to be functioning without any, a case of COVID coming up in our schools.
Right.
So I am sure, like me, every principal of every school would be praying that tomorrow should be an excellent day, and we are able to have a smooth sail. So yes, I am quite sure that all of us are very prepared and positive, which we are wanting to put it down even to the parents, because
Right.
that is very important.
Right. Of course,
Thank you.
taking parents into confidence is much more required, because of course they have to give the consent before sending their wards to school. And like I can, in fact, everyone who's there online with us today can, they can very well know by the name Reimagine. So each one of you and this, each one of the school leader has to reimagine the way they used to work, because every now and then this 2 years have taught us a lot of things, right? So we all had to reimagine the way we used to do business, whether running any other business or running an educational institute. So I'll definitely come back and bring some more question for you, Neetu ma'am. Now, but I would like to ask Shubrata ma'am. So, ma'am, we all know that we have heard the challenges and we have discussed with Vandana ma'am and Neetu ma'am, right? But you know that bringing back student to the school was not really easy, and in fact, it is still not easy. I'm sure that you as a leader and the other leaders are working really hard and they are doing their best to bring back the audience. But still, we would like to know what are the some unique challenges they are faced by the student or you are facing to bring them back to the school, and that too across the classes, starting from pre-primary to secondary to senior secondary, because of course there'll be some turnaround ratio and different turnaround ratio from the each section. So there might be a possibility that one section is, there's a high possibility of coming to school, but one section may not be turning up despite the hard effort. So we would like to know the challenges and how you are mitigating that challenge, and what actually you are taking as an action to ensure that there is a maximum strength. Shruta ma'am.
Thank you, Niteshi. We have just started our school section wise, not the entire school we have opened at once. We have opened for secondary, senior
Right.
secondary in one group. Then we have started our middle group. Then we go for the junior ones.
Right.
So while we have started for the senior ones, we have started them given first priority level their studies also, but we have given them some activities, because if we are calling them only for studies, students are now habitual to sit at home in their sofa and they are doing their classes. So it is a very big deal to us for keeping our student in the classroom for 4 to 5 hours.
Right.
So first we have started to give them practical classes. They are enjoying their practical classes because they have missed that practical classes in entire online studies. So we have given for senior secondary and secondary their practical classes. After that, we have started giving them a sport class, because if students know well that today we are going to get 1 hour for a sport period, then they are very much eager to come to school. So for that, we have started our senior level, and while starting our junior section, we have given them message of competitions.
Right.
That we are going to conduct a competition like a spell bee, drawing competition, rhymes competition, fancy dress competition. Every day we are planned different competitions for them.
Right.
The students are forcing their parents that okay, teacher has called for this participation, so we have to go to school.
Right, I'm
So
sure
by
that there must be different activities that you have rightly mentioned.
called our students that please come out from your home and be in the school, because literally everyone has faced a lot of problem during online.
Right.
Frankly speaking, 100% students are not doing focus on online studies, because they are minimizing their teacher and doing online games and different activities. And while parents are thinking that yes, students are sitting at the home and taking mobile or laptop devices and taking their online classes. It is very big fact. 50% students are only taking classes and 50% are making a school. So for that purpose, we have to start our first entertaining session for the student. You have to come. If we are giving you 3 periods for studies, we are giving you 2 to 3 periods for your entertainment also. Different participation in competitions and in other activities. So they are thinking that we are going to school, we will get this part also. So calling to the school, as you say, the topic is back to school. It is a very big challenge for us. But now hopefully we are saying that we are very grateful for the parent also. They have enjoyed this last 2 week sessions, and now everyone is ready to send them, because earlier we have to call parents for giving their counseling session why the school is important.
Sure.
Because after this 2 years, some parents want that let my child be at home and you people give only online classes, because they don't want to wake up early in the morning and prepare the lunch for their kid and sending them till bus stop. So this is also the reason parents don't want to send their kids to the school, because they have everything they got at their doorstep.
Right. I'm sure
Now
there's a
also work with their students for sending them to school.
right.
So for these different activities, competitions, counseling session. We have now good to manage the students and their parents to
Right.
make them back to school.
So thank you, Shubrata ma'am. In fact, a part question, of this, where our audience wanted to know more on this. So I'll just ask a part question to Vandana ma'am. But before I go to Vandana ma'am, I would like to welcome Dr. Madhuri Parthi. Ma'am is the academic director with Aravali International School, Faridabad. Welcome, ma'am. Dr. Madhuri ma'am, I guess we are not audible. So I would like to request my team to check with Madhuri ma'am if she's getting my voice or not. So Vandana ma'am, since Shubrata ma'am very well explained that how they are taking action to ensure that they are bringing back the audience, right, by doing a lot of activities, right? So student feel that there's a balance between academics and extracurricular or co-curricular activities, right? But what is the turnaround ratio and what are the challenges segment wise, right, when we talk about primary, pre-primary and secondary? So just to add on, and you can be just brief on those 3 pointers: primary, pre-primary and secondary.
Okay. Yes, Ritesh, I mean, my colleague has also, my fellow principals are, I'm agreeing to their points that yes, we have to keep some magnetism so that there is attraction, and that magnetism as an educator, I feel, I'll come back to your point also for pre-primary, primary and senior, but there is a common link in all of them. And that thing is about the learning gap. See, children have been studying, and as madam also pointed out that the children were not studying. And once you have missed on to a point, the next point is not clear to you. And this has happened simultaneously. Or as an educator, I feel that focus is on bridging the learning gap, basically. And that is our primary goal. See, if a child, if I let's talk about the primary children. Let's say talk about class 1. So in class 1, we the child to write a sentence. But if a KG, he has not learned how to write the words, and in his nursery, not able to identify the best. So sentence is very far, right? And from sentence to paragraph in class 2. So that's again going to be a big challenge. So I'm just taking an example. So this way, our main focus will be on bridging the learning gap. And we have talked to our parents also segment wise. And that's what we have planned our schedule, that we won't start our new curriculum unless we have bridged that learning gap. And even CBSE is also talking about certain topics that those need to be revised and redone with the children. So we'll be doing with them, even in badges, and of course in primary level, in middle level, in senior level, secondary level. So this will depend upon their content. But basic idea will be to bridge that gap, right? And for that, to make it a smoother sailing, then we have, see, this is the broader objective, and then we have identified into smaller ones. Then how to go about it? It can be activity oriented for the little ones, the playful methods for the little ones, and the practical and hands-on experience for the senior ones. So we have designed our curriculum in such a way that we are going to do it. And that's how we are going to bridge this gap. And that's how we will create that magnetism for the children and for the parents to come back to the school.
Right. Thank you so much, Vanna ma'am, for putting this across to our audience. So meanwhile, I'll check with Madhuri ma'am. So ma'am, am I audible to you?
Yeah, very much, Ritesh.
Welcome, Madhuri ma'am. So ma'am is the academic director with Aravali International School. So in fact, next question, without taking much time, I'll raise to ma'am. So ma'am, as you know that we are discussing very important topic, back to school, and that consists a lot of things, right? Because there is existing set of audience and there's a prospective set of audience, which is they're in fact looking for the admission for their young kids, right? The smaller ones. So, and that there is a lot of on and offs for the parents as well as for school. So the system was in full function, but this lockdown hampered the entire functioning of the system. So that ma'am, schools are putting a lot of efforts to bring back the kids to the school, right? But what do you think that what can parents do to make it the transition easier for their children? What are some or other things that parent can do to prepare their child so that they are back to school, ma'am?
I think the biggest issue that we have right now is that learning happens only when the minds are engaged.
Right.
To engage their minds, we need to create an absolutely stress-free, happy atmosphere, both at home and in school.
Right.
So if at all, I mean, as my earlier participant said, we need to create more empty periods and less the subjects and stuff. I really don't know whether that will help or creating meaningful, engaging activities will help.
Right.
Yeah. So it's all about how between all the stakeholders we make this transition absolutely smooth. Because for a child today, to even sit in that 90-degree position for 6 hours is a challenge. That perpendicular on either the schools have a plastic chair or a wooden chair at the most.
Ma'am, if you can put on, yeah.
And they used to getting you.
Yeah, please continue, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah.
Please continue.
During our classes, we have seen mothers bringing hot garam aloo parathas and giving it to their child.
Right.
Yeah. And from there, a transition to a cold tiffin.
Right.
So, it's a bigger challenge for teachers also. They were just right now, as on Zoom classes, their engagement was only teaching. Now
Right.
again, it is head count, getting the lines made, putting them in the buses, taking them out from the buses.
Right.
Yeah, tracking every child if the child has reached home. So the whole task list has, and it's always easier to go from old to new.
Right. Right.
Yeah, when we switched on to online classes, there was a newness in it. Everybody was learning. Teachers were engaged. They were learning to use the platform. They were learning to use the material available on the net, whether it is podcast, YouTube. They were finding new Microsoft tools to make children understand.
Right.
But now it is a transition from new to old.
Right.
For teachers. So it's going to be a tougher transition.
Of course, everyone had to reimagine, like we have named the series, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for putting this across, ma'am. And now my next question is for Neetu, ma'am. So Neetu, ma'am, ma'am has very well explained that what can be the role of a parent to make the transition easier. And of course, it's difficult for teachers to bring them back to the school. But ma'am, many parents who are living in the cities like Faridabad, they have moved back to their hometowns, and their children are attending classes online. So since now their work is still on a work from home mode, and now schools are starting physical classes. So how school is going to manage the hybrid classes, or you are giving the advice to the parents to come back and attend, make their kids attend the physical classes, ma'am? So
Okay.
because
See,
this is
when
a
we
real
talk,
issue in every city, not only
yes,
Faridabad, but of course
absolutely.
Gurgaon, Ghaziabad, and we see every city where the parents are there in that city from some other town.
Absolutely. So, Ritesh, when I know it is true in every city of our country, and maybe across outside our country also. But then, yes, it has happened even at our school, and parents have moved out. The children have moved out. So, when we talk about the senior classes, we had to tell the parents to bring the children back, because of course they have, the senior ones are the ones who have had a lot of learning gaps, and the teachers are really wanting them back to be getting them into a normal practice mode, so a normal routine. But yes, we do have that kind of a buffer in hand for the primary and pre-primary. So over here, we have been requesting the parents, because when we definitely tell the parent about their social behavior, which really needs to be now managed, and the mental health which needs to be managed, because even the parents are thinking that the school should open. So where the child is in school, where the child is in Faridabad, the parents are sending. And
Right.
when the teacher is doing it in a hybrid mode, and there are a few who are having the class online, when they see their peer group having the classes offline, so that is definitely making them feel interested to come to school. But
Right.
yes, if distance becomes an issue, then parents are trying, and we have also categorically told as of now that we have planned to reopen the school from April only in offline mode. Because we all have to understand as parents, as school, that children have had a major setback even in their social, if we talk about the behavior patterns, they
Right.
have had a major setback, and they are the ones who are not able to really express. They have become tech savvy, super tech savvy, but they
Right.
have lost on their social skills, which are extremely important at any point of childhood, if we say so, right
Right.
from nursery to 12th. So all that, whatever is learned, whether it is cooperative skills, whether it is the other skills, they have
Right.
missed out on that, and they can only do it with the parent, with the children, with their friends at school, and not at home. So
Right.
yes, we have been telling this to the parents.
So of course, peer is really important in the entire learning process. So of course, they have to come
Right.
back to the school, and since from this talk show that we can very well analyze that school are trying their level best to bring back the audience. But of course, still we are talking about the physical classroom, or let's say back to school, the complete full on the full strength, right? That is coming, and I can see from the next academic session, right? But still, like teachers are, because the schools are already open in the physical form, but there is a set of parents who are not sending their kids to school. So on this I would like to ask Subrata ma'am, because since now the schools are managing both the on a hybrid mode, right, the offline and the online. So Subrata ma'am, this burdens the teacher, right? Because when it was the complete offline, we understand that teacher has to be inside the classroom and has to teach and address the student. When we talk about online, it was complete online. But when it comes to hybrid, how difficult it is for a teacher is one, and second is how you as a leader are supporting your teacher to overcome this problem, ma'am.
Yes, sir, we are facing a lot of problem because one teacher of one subject can't take both the things,
Right.
while online also and offline also. Because if teacher is sitting in the classroom and teaching students in offline mode, so she has to be present totally in the classroom. She
Right.
can't focus on the online part. And entire day, if she is doing the offline work, she can't give the online classes after school hours also.
Right.
Because during the school hour, every student are with us.
Right.
And we have to give focus. I think we have to give more focus those who are coming to the school, because
Right.
they are coming to the school, they are physically present in our school building. So we have to take care of their security, safety, and their academics also.
Right.
So we are focusing on that part too much. But for the students, those who are sitting at the home and trying to take class, so because our syllabus has been already completed, and now only the revision classes are going on, because final examination is going to be start in next week.
Right.
So we are giving them assignments and other due to online, and they are completing that assignment, and after they are submitting the teacher to for checking.
Right. Right.
After that, teacher giving doubt session only for 1 hour. In that doubt session, students are asking the queries with their teachers. So like this, we are managing both the offline and online classes. We are focusing our students, those who are present in our school, but we are giving assignment, the written test and materials to the students, those who are sitting. And
Right.
giving them.
I would like to add, it's very difficult to carry on with this hybrid model.
Yeah,
I
in
don't
fact-
think
in
so
fact,
schools will
I
be able to sustain with it for very long. It's too taxing for our teachers. So
Right.
parents
No,
will have to take a call and will have to decide either they are this side or that side.
2-3 days more. It can't possible for a very long
Yeah,
time.
maybe beyond
We
next
can
week.
revision, but not we can not start again teaching. It is
Right.
not
Beyond
possible.
next week, it will be difficult to carry on because it is becoming too
Dr. Madhuri,
strenuous for
I
our
have a
teachers.
question. I have a very particular question. For this period, how you are easing out the burden of your teachers? Because I'm sure this is a very difficult problem to address, and I'm sure that is why like Shubhrata ma'am said that their focus is going to be the physical classroom with the more attention and more focus, so that parent can also be motivated to send their wards to a physical school and a physical classroom mode. But for the current season, how you are easing out the issue and how you are easing out the burden of your teacher to handle the hybrid mode?
We are not able to easen out anything for any teachers. If somebody is saying it, I don't know how, because as it is, March is a very crucial month for schools.
Right.
Because you are winding up the previous year and you are getting ready for the next session.
Right.
Any which ways, March is a critical and an exhaustive time in a school's calendar.
Right.
And on top of that, to handle hybrid classes, for the teachers to repeat the same thing and to remember what did they say in the physical class to the other children and what is it that this child is missing out on, to kind of assess them at the same benchmark. It's like, it cannot be. I think we are going to make it very clear to our parents, beyond Friday, we'll not be able to support them. They have to be either this side or that side. They can't be sitting on the fence now anymore.
Right.
We are unable to handle it. It is becoming too difficult for our teachers. Because dispersals are there. Children haven't come to school, putting them back in the buses, the right bus, the right parent, the right van. There's too much for a teacher. And after that, now she comes and sits back in the room again to teach the children who have not attended the school.
Right. We agree that there are a lot of logistical challenge that parent has to understand and be prepared to send their wards back to school. So this is, we largely spoke about when parents are now deciding to send their kids back to the school and schools are putting their best of the effort. But Dr. Madhuri, I have another question for you. Like admission, we also have to talk about the decoding of admission, and we all will agree that in last 2 years, these were the struggling years for school and for the parents as well, because we have seen a lot of financial crunch, job loss, and a lot of other scenarios which has impacted in one or the other way to every individual, right? This COVID has impacted everyone. So many parents that, in fact, we have taken a lot of webinar on the school admission where we have come across this common question where parent said, okay, let's skip nursery. Can we skip nursery for this year? Or let's say, can we skip KG for this year and we can directly send our kid to class 1? So even parent may presume, right? I'm using this word, that they may presume that this may prolong, okay? And because of this prolongness of this COVID thing, they should postpone the admission and let's skip the nursery. So what do you want to say on this issue? What is your piece of advice for the parent who are planning the admission for this year in this coming academic session, so that they can understand the value of learning and there should be no learning gap? So Dr. Madhuri, what is your piece of advice for the parents?
As a specialist in early childhood learning,
right,
especially these foundational years are very, very critical. We are not allowing our children to, parents to hop classes, skip classes, or from a nursery to a 1 or from a KG. No, loss of learning can at this stage cannot be covered up at any stage.
Right.
Yeah, because through their 5 senses, the amount of absorption that happens at this point in time, till 0 to 6 years of age, does not happen at any other age and stage of human life. So they need to understand this. So we have put our foot down. You see, as schools, we also have to be firm when we are educationists and we understand what a child is losing. A parent may not, they are specialists in their profession.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So we are putting our foot down. We are just not permitting this. If children have not attended the class throughout the year and they are not ready, it's not about marks. It's not about what we have in our record. It is about, is the child ready to go to the new grade? If the child is not ready, he's not ready.
Right. So we'll quickly take one view of Ms. Bhatia also on the same. So,
Yeah.
ma'am, what's your view on and the piece of advice?
I totally agree with Dr. Madhuri that the most impressionable age is the foundation years, and in this foundation years, we cannot afford. Some of the parents do come and tell us, Madam, sirf ABCD to hai. It's
Right.
not the question counting and literacy and numeracy. Actually, learning is more than that. We are catering to their social needs, we are catering to their emotional needs, and education is learning to be with everyone, so those things are actually needed, which they're missing out. So even we are not allowing hopping or leaving any gaps. But if some parent is coming with some genuine problem, and of course after checking onto it, we are helping the children also. If at all they have never been to a school, for example, they have never attended nursery class and they want admission in KG class.
Right.
So again, my suggestion to such parents is we make such children sit with the educator, let the educator previous learning they had, and if at all the child has learned, it's not that all parents do not know how to teach their children at home. If they have given them something and the child has something with him in his kitty so that he can be at par with other children of his age group, then yes, after gauging the child's skills, we do accept such children. But of course, we give our piece of advice to the parents also, that yes, this much your child knows, and before you bring the child for the coming session, the child should be able to do this much. And in my earlier, while I was talking to you in my previous question also, I talked about it that yes, we will also be doing bridging the learning gap with them.
Wonderful. So that is good to know that the learning gap should not be there, and that is what the schools are saying loud and clear to the parents, so that they should feel motivated to send their wards back to school or admit their wards, especially when it comes to the fresh admission. The foundation classes should not be missed, of course. So this is like we largely spoke about the back to school, and now as all the leaders know that UniApply is helping school and the parents to, especially to the parents, where they can explore, discover the schools, and they can apply. In fact, all your schools are there on our website, and the parents can actually apply to your school using UniApply, right? But there is a very subjective question of the parent. So I'll put this question to Neetu ma'am. Ma'am, parent ask about the various parameters, like what should be the parameters for a parent to select for a school in a very subjective manner, because it varies from a parent to parent, right? So what are a couple of things, a couple of points, because I will take the view of every panelist on this question, and then we'll move towards the closure of this session. But it is very subjective question, and parent is really keen to know कि भाई वो क्या ऐसे 4 point या 5 point होने चाहिए जो मैं I should keep in my book before I decide for a school or I visit a school. So what should be there in my book? So Neetu ma'am.
Okay. Fine, Ritesh. This was, this question came up to me just 2 days back when I had parents in my office. And both the parents were wanting to know that, ma'am, please let us know. We are absolutely confused where we should admit our child in. And, we really do not know. All schools are offering so much, but we are so confused. So the thing is, Ritesh, over here, I would like to say it totally depends on the parent's discretion, that what kind of an individual is the parent wanting his child to be. Now, if I talk about, every school is wanting to, is giving holistic education. So holistic education is a paraphrase where we say that a lot of activities, which include scholastic and co-scholastic activities, are being done at school. But does the parent want his child to be only doing scholastic? Does the parent want more focus on academics? So one area is this. Now, two is the child, or is the parent only interested in sports or dance or theater, And to tell you, a couple of months back, I used to wonder that why only parents offer to choose academics. And whereas nowadays, nowadays, I have been getting parents to my school and they have been saying that, ma'am, now we are really looking at more than academics. So, of course, if it is more than academics, I would relate it to maybe, children being resilient to a situation. So if I talk about that, then are the children ready enough to be put into a situation that they can face? Is the school giving good life skills to a child? Is the school giving good sports to a child? Is the school, making the children disciplined, but not in that strict manner? So what I would say, is the school firm on certain things, or is the school being strict on certain things? These are the various areas, whether we are focusing on value education. Now, again, it differs from parent to parent, because some parents are there who really focus a lot on value education. How are we imparting values? Whereas some are there that, ma'am, I mean, all these things do not matter to me, and I just want academics for my child. A nursery parent came to my school who was only and only wanting the child to be getting into an IIT. So a nursery parent is aspiring for an IIT college for
To
his
at such
child.
early stage.
Yes, actually. So what I'm saying is, it totally depends. All schools are offering, but it totally depends on a parent how well groomed is he wanting his child to be. And every school, I would say every school is putting in its best to make a child into a good human being. Ultimately, all of us want that a child should be a good human being, right? So that we can have a better place to live in. A child should be strong willed. A child should be resilient. A child should be patient, should be empathetic. And all these things are, out of the curriculum. All these things are out of the academics. So, are we really training the children on that? I think parents need to really rethink about their priorities on how they want the child to grow up.
Before I go to Dr. Madhuri, I will just take a quick, view of Miss Vandana Bhatia, ma'am, so that she can also share her insight about this subject question. So, Shubhrita ma'am, can you put on mute Miss Shubhrita Singh ma'am, or if Bhumika can help us? Okay, Vandana ma'am.
Yes, I agree with Madam Neetu that every school is working in the best of spirits for the holistic growth. And that holistic growth, of course, comes with, the word itself says everything, the sports also, the co-curricular also. And of course, it is the discretion of the parents, what all criteria they have. There are certain parents who have been coming to us. They said they want a school who is near to their house. I mean, if the child is not comfortable, I'm talking about especially the early years. So of course, so if you are in the vicinity of the school, you can take admission. So many things are there besides it. So if sports is needed and value education, all these points Madam has quite broadly covered. But yes, it is on the discretion of the parents. What kind of child do you want, or what kind of future you are looking in for? And of course, no school is leaving any stone unturned to bring the best into their children. Of course, every school has its own USP. Every school has its own vision. And of course, then we are having our plan of action. But as far as if I talk about my school also, so we are also having that vision that yes, we want the global exposure to our children, and we are providing all those facilities for that, right? So it is again on the discretion of the parent what all they are looking for in the schools. But yes, schools are ready for providing the best of education to their child.
Right. So thank you, Vandana ma'am, for giving your view, because of course this is a subjective question. because I can see Shubhrata Singh ma'am on the screen. I would like to, tell her something on the holistic education, because a lot of parents are now, like Neetu ma'am and Vanda ma'am said, that they are looking beyond academics now. So, Shubhrata ma'am, holistic education is something where parents are looking, as a consideration, right? So, what is your say and view that what should be the consideration of parents and the pointers of the parent for school admission, right?
Yes, sir. We have to think only not for academics, even we have to think for the entire development of a student. If
Right.
parents want that students should be not only give the marks in their mark sheet, even the student stand in front of anyone, they can reflect from themselves.
Right, right,
That is the important thing. So if a student is getting too much marks only by writing in the answer sheet and he can't speak in front of anyone, then after the schooling, that student is never get success.
right,
So we have to go not only for academics, even we have to go for the entire development and growth of a kid. So we are talking to the parents on all these aspects, that we are giving them, grooming their child. Not only for English, not only for Hindi, even we are going for drawing also, for music also, for dance also.
right.
Because school is giving at every special moment, we are teaching something to the kids. If we are giving them assembly, we
Right.
are teaching how to present themselves on the stage.
Right.
If
course.
students are doing any activity, how to being a creative.
Right.
If students are taking drawing classes, then know how to prepare an image which is giving in their mind.
Right.
So
Right.
we are asking with them, if you want to give your student only for academics, then a school can't help you, because a student which is going only for academic, after some years, few years, they are not going to be get success. They will be get backbencher, because only noting from the note board and doing in work in their notebook is not the achievement.
Right.
We have to give, as if we are giving any presentation, viva, drawing, martial arts, everything is teaching how to make you extra expert in entire part of the life.
Right.
So
Right.
while coming to the school, parent has to think, no, we have not going only for mark sheet. We
Right.
are going for full development of my kid. So
Right.
first we have to discuss with the parent ki you people are thinking, yes, if a student is getting an maximum marks in answer sheet of examination, you are happy. But
Right.
don't be happy like this. If your student is doing more than average in all the entire things, then you have to be happy.
Right. Right. So I will just quickly ask Dr. Madhuri if she's there. So, ma'am, we from this talk, and we can very well understand, right, that academics is not the only thing. So student has to be prepared for a better tomorrow is one. And second, like Neetu ma'am mentioned, that parent visited and they are aspirant about some of a particular college admission, or let's say engineering, or the kid to be a doctor in such early years when they are admitting their child into class nursery. So what do you think, ma'am, that how parents should be counseled in a way so that they let their child evolve during the journey of these 12, 14 years in the school, and not to think in such a direction which parent think that, okay, ho sakta hai parent ka sapna ho to get into IIT, but he wants his kids to be in IIT, right? So I really appreciate the idea of sending their kids to IIT, but it is too early, right? So, Dr. Madhuri, if you can share your piece of advice for those parents.
I think today there are n number of scientific valid certified tests are available to find the attitude and aptitude of the child. Mindler is one of the biggest platform with 32 batteries available in the market
Right.
at a very decent price, and children can attempt that aptitude and attitude test right from sitting at home. Why not do that and then figure out what the child want to do?
But of course,
I
ma'am,
think
that
till
comes
about
at a later stage, right? I am just talking about the parents who are actually seeking admission in the foundation
till
class.
about
We are talking about IIT.
class 5, give them lot of exposure. All right. So the learning has to be like this.
Right.
Lot of exposure, whether even if you're teaching a particular subject, it has to be more exposure. And then after grade 5, there has to be depth brought.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my advice to the parents. And what I'm talking is science. I'm not just talking purely out of my experience.
Right.
The more the exposure, the better the outcome.
Right. Of course, after exposure, even the student will evolve and will be in a better situation to decide what to do rather than deciding on day one that, what should we plan for, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much, all the panelists, for sparing your time and sharing your thoughts and insight, because you give a lot of valuable feedback and insight to the parents so that they can understand and take the call for a new admission, or let's say sending their kids back to the school. And we as UniApply and you as educational leader, we have a common goal so that society should get a better education, and we all should contribute to uplift the society. And of course, the 100% value can be delivered once the education system starts in the old form, which is physical classroom form. So thank you so much, each one of you, for sparing your time and giving valuable feedback. And I really wish and hope that parents would have enjoyed this conversation with the eminent panelist with us. So thank you, each one of you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you. When we could put our words forward. So thank you so much for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanna ma'am. Thank you.